Good evening. I'm Pedro Hazel Jr.
I'm Steve Ferguson.
Welcome to another edition of the PedroFergie Sportscorner. Tonight we'll be discussing March Madness as it relates to our local teams and nationally, the World Baseball Classic, and more. If you like what you see, the internet address is youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner, all one word. Again, it's youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner, all one word. And if you like us, subscribe to us. The St. John's Red Storm became the first program in Big East history to win consecutive back-to-back regular season and tournament championships. They did this by obliterating UConn, a six-time NCAA champion, 72-52 at Madison Square Garden last night. I mean, it was just... We saw this game last night.
Yes, we did.
And it was like, oh my God. They were like, it was like 10-0.
I mean, they jumped on their bones the minute the game started.
Yes.
I think what I liked about St. John's, first of all, Connecticut whipped their behinds the last game. Let's be honest. That's what they did to them.
Yeah.
But last night, it looked like Rick Pitino said to his team, go and kill them.
Yeah.
Finish them off. I don't want to hear about them anymore.
Yeah, man.
And they played a terrific defensive game. They attacked the basket. They came at them constantly. They got out in front, and they just said, we're going to finish you off tonight.
That's right.
I'm tired of you.
It was revenge from that game.
I definitely think it was, even though Rick Pitino played it down a little bit. I think they had every reason to get after Connecticut last night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, here's the funny statistic. St. John's held Connecticut to 15.8%.
Wow.
From three-point range.
Wow.
And forced 16 turnovers, plus 10 steals.
And they had two star players, one that you probably know, Ojibfor. This has been the best center I've seen St. John's have in years, probably since the days, and I'll say it honestly, since the days of Bill Wennington, 1985.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a long time ago. But this guy, I believe, has a chance to be an NBA player. He reminds me a lot of a player that the Knicks have on their team now, somebody named Mitchell Robinson. If you guys remember the other night when the Knicks played, Mitchell Robinson had, get this, 22 rebounds, 12 points, and I believe 5 blocks. He played his tail off. He has become a defensive star on the Knicks.
Yes.
That's what this guy is for St. John's, Ojibfor, Emeka Ojibfor. He's a terrific player, and I think he will be part of the reason that St. John's might have a decent run in the tournament. And they have another guy, I think his name is Mitchell, and he's a very good offensive player and rebounder. St. John's is a much better team now than they were last year.
Yes, definitely better. I think they'll definitely get past the first round.
I believe so, too.
Yeah.
I believe, and I'll just say this so that we know where we stand on this, I believe this is the year that St. John's gets in the Final 8.
Oh, the Elite 8?
The Elite 8, yes.
Wow.
I think this is the best defensive team they've ever had. Pitino is a miracle worker.
Since 84.
Yes.
Since 84, 85, when they went to the Final Four, still losing to Georgetown.
Oh, yeah. St. John's, the only weakness they have this year is their scoring ability. Last year they had that, and they couldn't. Once they stopped playing defense, they were done. This team this year plays balls to the wall defense. They really do. I think defensively they're in the class of a Houston Cougar team. Really
interesting.
Good, who did get to the finals and lost to Florida last year. But if St. John's can find a little more offense to go with what they do, they can pull off a couple of upsets.
Interesting.
This is definitely one of the best teams they've had in years.
By the way, they are the 5th seed playing against Northern Iowa in the East Regional.
That's supposed to be, of course, we know tournaments, everything happens.
Yeah.
But I'll just say that's a game they're supposed to win.
They should win.
So that's one round they'll get through. The next round I heard could be very tough for them because the teams play a similar style. That's another reason these teams lose in the early rounds. It's not the talent always, it's the style of play. One team plays defense, the other plays offense, or maybe they both do. And then it's a question of who keeps their cool under pressure. I think St. John's has had some more experience now from last year. They should be a little better battle tested with the players they have. Pitino has been an absolute genius of a coach since he's arrived in St. John's. This team was complete garbage until he arrived as a coach. He has put them back on the map. They are a consistent team. They are a team to be reckoned with. But I think there are going to be a couple of upsets that they're going to pull off.
By the way, Pitino is the first Red Storm coach since Mike Jarvis to lead the Red Storm to consecutive NCAA tournament runs.
And I'd like to tell you, Mike Jarvis may have been the last good coach they had since they brought Rick Pitino in here. They have had years of misery. Everything they have done has not worked out. They had Steve Levin here briefly. He did a decent job. He got them into the postseason, I believe, once.
The NCAA,
But they have had years and years and years and years of misery. So Rick Pitino, by far, outside of the great, and I say great because he's phenomenal, Luke Carnesecca. He's getting up to that level. Now, he has to win a couple of these rounds to do that, but I think his team is ready to do it.
I see Lou smiling right now.
Yes.
Smiling, actually looking down and smiling.
With the multicolored sweaters.
Yes, with the sweaters.
And the glasses and the cool that he had to coach. He was a great coach.
Yes, indeed.
And Pitino is kind of like the modern day Carnesecca. He's cool too. He likes to wear the sharp suits, kind of like the Pat Riley style. I hate Pat Riley. We all know that. But it's the style we're talking about. The Armani suits, the slick back hair, the clean shoes. The man is a star.
Yes, he is. He's been around. He's really been around.
Oh, yes. And he's won titles with other teams, Kentucky being one.
By the way, speaking of Pat Riley played for Kentucky.
He did.
When he was in college. He played for Kentucky.
Yes, he did. He was a good player in his game, I heard.
Yeah.
But Rick Pitino, boy, every time his name is mentioned for a coaching job, you can expect to turn it around like that.
And he didn't fail here.
No, he did not.
And not only are the Johnnies headed for the NCAA tournament, Hofstra and Long Island University are also returning to the NCAA tournament. And like the Johnnies will learn their seed in first round draw. Actually, we have it already. The Hofstra is facing Alabama in the Midwest Regional. They're the 13th seed facing Alabama in the 4th seed.
I would love to see this upset happen with Fordham. They're a really good school. We're 17-15 this year. Not a great record, but good enough to make it into the tournament. But Alabama, what I remember seeing of them the last 2 years, they are a high-powered, extremely great offensive team. They will probably run this team out of the building. But we congratulate Fordham big time for getting to the playoff, to the conference. And to the NCAAs, because they have also been down for a long, long time.
You're talking Hofstra.
Yes, Hofstra.
You mentioned Fordham.
Sorry, Hofstra. They have been down for a very long time. But
it's been the last time they were in the NCAA tournament was 2001.
Wow.
25 years.
Let's congratulate them for getting there. And we have some former colleagues who went to that school.
Yes. Congratulations. Steve Rabinowitz and Anthony Strait, you guys have waited a long time to get there.
I'll give them a hand for just getting there.
All right.
Getting to these tournaments takes a lot for a lot of teams.
All right.
And they did get there, so we'll give them credit and we'll pray for them that it
good luck
happens.
Good luck to Hofstra.
Good luck, Hofstra.
And the other local school to get there is actually Hofstra got the NCAA tournament bid by winning the Coastal Atlantic Association Tournament Championship on Tuesday. It's the 5th ever March Madness berth for the Pride, who've been coached by Speedy Claxton, Hofstra alum and 7-year NBA point guard.
He was a good player in his day.
2021. Yeah. They defeated Monmouth in the CAA tournament final on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the other local school that's going to the NCAA is LIU, Long Island University.
The Blackbirds.
Yeah. They won the Northeast Conference tournament with a 79-70 victory over Mercyhurst in Tuesday's final. This is their 4th season under Rod Strickland, a former Knicks player. Yeah. Nick Gart. Yeah.
Current coach and really good point guard for the Knicks.
Yeah.
He never quite lived up to his billing as what they thought he could have been in the NBA, but I can tell you his speed and ability to get to the basket was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He played under Mark Jackson, who was he was the understudy to him, but he was a very talented, very capable point guard, and I'm glad to see he's turned it into a head coaching job.
Okay, glad for him. They improved its win total every season under Strickland, going from 3-26 in year 1 to 24-10 this past season.
Let's give a hand to Rod Strickland too. That's a great job you've done with that team.
This is their 8th trip to the NCAA.
I don't know why, but every time I think of LIU, I think of that song years ago, and you probably know this song, Walking in Rhythm.
Yes, Walking in Rhythm.
Blackbirds. The minute I hear the Blackbirds, that's a song I always refer to.
Walking in Rhythm.
Yeah. Great song. Back in the 70s, I think 1974. If you want to hear it, it's worthwhile.
Yes, indeed. Let me see. LIU faces, they're the 16th seed against Arizona. Oh, well.
Arizona, I will tell you right now, sorry, guys, you got to the tournament. Congratulations, but I believe you're going to be a one and done. Arizona has the chops to get to the finals. They're definitely a team to watch, along with Duke, a team that none of us in this room like at all. Houston and probably Florida are the other teams that can get in. But I will say this, at least you're getting there to play.
You're getting there to play. Again, good. Best of luck to LIU and Hofstra. Congratulations to those teams. And, of course, St. John's.
Because once these games start, anything can happen.
Of course, Duke is the overall number 1 seed.
Well, what else is new?
Yeah.
They're always there. Yeah. Every year they do it. Last year they had Cooper Flagg, and they talked about him endlessly. Yes, he is a good NBA player. He did make it. He's going to be a star player, maybe a superstar player, because he's a fabulous shooter. He's a good rebounder, and he will get better defensively. But the smart thing that the Dallas Mavericks did with him, they don't have him playing the center spot. Because they know he's not physically capable of doing it. Yeah. He's not a Victor Wembanyama. That guy's an absolute freak of nature. Yeah. But Cooper Flagg is definitely a star.
Right. Interesting. Oh, by the way, they're playing Siena.
Siena, well, they're another one of those teams that they get there. We're happy they're there. But unfortunately, one and done, perhaps.
Yeah. Two teams are going to the NCAAs for the first time. First is California Baptist.
Wow.
Out of California Baptist, who beat Utah Valley in the WAC tournament. And the Queens Royals out of North Carolina.
I've never heard of that.
Knocked off Central Arkansas.
Wow.
To win the Atlantic Sun Championship. Atlanta placed in their very first season eligible.
Wow.
That was they just went up. They just went to full Division I status last July.
Wow. I'll tell you what. I don't know about you, but I've never heard of the Queens Royals team.
Yeah.
But, I love to see these teams in the NCAA that you don't even know who they are and what they are.
But sometimes, some of these schools, they just go, some of them go like, remember St. Joseph out of Jersey?
Oh, yeah, they were a good team.
I mean, they got to like the Final Four, Elite Eight, not Final Four.
They had a coach. I remember this guy, Martelli.
Yeah.
An Italian head coach. This guy coached his tail off. They got to the Final Eight. So remember, even if you're an underdog, if you want it badly enough, you play your tail off and maybe good things happen.
I remember George Mason getting up to
That was another
Elite
one.
8, or at least Final Four, Elite 8.
Mhm.
And I was in DC in 2006. I was there with my girlfriend at the time.
Mhm.
We had visited Washington. We were watching some of the NCAAs, and we had the local school playing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I learned about the NCAAs that made me really respect how tough it is. 1998, Kansas was in the first round of the playoffs, and I honestly don't remember who they played. I wish I did. Kansas was picked to win it all. I had them picked to win it all. They were eliminated in the first round by a 14th seed. Let me tell you, that was the first time that it ever happened.
Yeah.
A number 3 seed, which was Kansas, lost to a 14 seed.
And
they were knocked out in the first round. My pool was ruined, and it was over.
A lot of back brackets were probably ruined,
yes.
too.
Yes, they were.
Oh, by the way, for your information, Cal Baptist is playing Kansas. They're the 13th seed against the 4th seed, East Regional. And Queens, North Carolina, is playing Purdue in the West Regional.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, Long Island, LIU is in the West Regional as well, and Hofstra is in the Midwest Regional. Just.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fun part about the NCAAs, obviously, is these teams that we've never heard of or barely heard of, and they get in the tournament and they upset teams that you think there's no chance in hell it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it happens a lot more than we realize.
Yes, indeed.
I remember for years they would say a number 1 team is never going to lose to a number 16 team. That happened
That's happened a couple of years ago. Yeah.
A couple of years ago. The best tournament matches that I've seen most of the time is the number 12 against the number 5. That for whatever reason, that winds up being one of the best matches in the tournament. Those two teams, whoever they are, very evenly matched, and they play to the hilt. So I think that's the part I've always liked about the NCAA is the nervous vibe you get from watching.
Yeah.
And I heard recently, and I've not been able to follow UCLA. I was a serious UCLA fan years ago, but they're barely on TV now. That's how poorly they played.
Yeah.
But I heard they have a chance to upset the team that they're going to play in the first round.
Interesting.
They're supposed to beat this team. I want to see that.
Which team? UCLA?
I think, UCLA.
Yes, they're the 7th seed up against UCF. That's the East Regional.
That's what I heard recently.
Yeah.
And I have not seen UCLA all year. And you're talking about a fan of that team since the 70s.
John Wooden.
Since John Wooden. And I can tell you half the players they had in that team. Kareem. What's his name? Keith Wilkes. They had, and then years later, they had Kevin Love.
Yeah.
And Westbrook.
Yeah.
And the list goes on. They had tremendous teams for about 25 plus years. And they've started sliding only the last few years.
Yeah.
But that's a possible upset to look for.
Yeah.
And I would like to see UCLA once this year. I have not seen them at all. They really slipped down the ladder, but I'd love to see for one more time the old days of UCLA standing up in the first round of the playoffs and saying, we'll beat your tail.
Okay, we'll just briefly go over the women's side. We have Connecticut, South Carolina are back again. Connecticut is number 1. South Carolina is number 4.
That's a war.
LSU's number 5. Iowa's number 7. The Duke team is number 8. Yeah.
What a group of 8 that is.
Even though UCLA is just barely it's just finally getting on the men's side. On the women's side, they're number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Texas is number 3.
Wow, I didn't realize UCLA was that good.
Yeah, we have LSU. We mentioned LSU. We have Vanderbilt, Michigan, and then Oklahoma.
Do you think UCLA has a chance to beat Connecticut based on the rankings?
Maybe. I'm just going to go with South Carolina and Connecticut, LSU. I think those are going to be like the 3 best
I mean, South Carolina is just so good.
Dawn Staley is an incredible coach.
She really is an incredible coach.
And Orema,
And Gino Auriemma,
yeah.
he started sliding a little bit a couple of years ago when they were number 7, number 8. They were still good, but not at the top. He's regained his powers. The last few years, he had Paige Beckers, one of the best college players ever in the women's rounds. And he has a woman now, her name is Aziz, and you probably remember her last name. I think it's Fudd.
Mm-hmm.
Those two are very good friends on and off the court, and she now has taken over the reins as the best player on that team.
If Connecticut ever plays South Carolina in the finals, it's got to be a war.
Yes, it will be.
Indeed. Now moving on to the World Baseball Classic. It's been an exciting one so far. The U.S. team faces the Dominican Republic tonight in the semifinals. Right now they're playing as we speak.
Yes, they are.
The USA team beat Canada 5-3 Friday night, while the Dominican Republic whipped Korea 10-0 on Friday.
And that's the word, whipped.
Whipped.
Let me tell you how the Dominican Republic is a team I think is going to win it all.
Yeah.
As much as I like the USA team, if you've seen this Dominican Republic team, use one word. Oh my God.
Hey.
Look at that lineup they have. They have 7 star players on that team. They have Tatis. They have Machado. They have Kirk. They have the guy from the Yankees, Austin, backup catcher, Austin. I can't think of his last name right now. But
of course, you have Soto.
Soto, yeah.
Juan Soto.
That's 5 players already we named you.
Right.
I believe they have a couple more.
Well, Severino is starting tonight, you said.
I was about to say, yes. Former Met and Yankee pitcher Luis Severino is pitching tonight against Paul Skeens. What a matchup.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I bet you Luis Severino is going to pitch the game of his life tonight because he knows the New York market is watching. He's got his fans on the West Coast from Sacramento. This guy is a winner. He's a very talented major league pitcher. He may give them every bit of challenge to the U.S. that they've had all tournament long.
Interesting. Yeah.
Great slider at 96 miles an hour. He's coming at us.
Yeah.
And Skeens has similar stuff, and he doesn't walk people either. So this might be the best game of the series.
Indeed. The winner of tonight's game will face the winner of the Venezuela-Italy game tomorrow for the finals game on Tuesday.
Let me say this about Italy. This team just does everything correctly.
Yeah.
They're not as talented as the USA or Venezuela, in my opinion, or the Dominican. But, man, do they play good baseball. They make very few mistakes. They're fundamentally sound. They don't blow it with errors. They have pitching that people didn't think they have. There's a guy for this team who pitches in the U.S. Now, he's a good major league pitcher, but he's never been a big name. Right. Michael Lorenzen. Let me tell you, I want you all to remember this guy. In the game he faced the U.S., he shut the U.S. out for 4 1/3 innings.
Wow.
They got nothing off this guy. He pitches for the Colorado Rockies.
Man.
They just got him in the offseason. He's been with Cincinnati and Kansas City. He's been a good pitcher, but never a great pitcher. But that game that night, he was brilliant. 4 1/3 innings, shutting out the USA.
Wow.
That's why they're good now. Their pitching has really stepped up and risen.
Yeah.
The other night, they brought in a former Philly pitcher who got banged around, Philip Amon. He's 37, and he is a former major league pitcher. He's now a farmer of all things. But they brought in 2 relievers after him who shut out the team they were playing for 4 innings.
Wow.
This Italy team, you better take them seriously.
They beat Puerto Rico yesterday afternoon,
Yes,
8-6, and Venezuela beat Japan 8-5 last night.
Now, let me tell you, that Venezuela-Japan game, that was also a great game.
Yes.
You had Yamamoto, the Dodger ace, pitching for Japan, and on the other side, for Venezuela, the newly acquired free agent, Suarez, who used to pitch for the Phillies, faced them. And they got to both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them gave up solo home runs in the first inning.
Wow.
Both of them got banged around in the game. Suarez was hit very hard. He gave up most of the 5 runs.
Yeah.
But his bullpen did a superb job and shut Japan out the rest of the way.
By the way, where the game just started with the bottom of the first, no score between the U.S. and the DR. So,
and I'm telling you, this game tonight, for those of you who are watching, might be the best game you'll see, period, in this tournament.
Yes.
These are 2 teams that have, especially the Dominican, they might have the most powerful offense I've seen in years.
Wow.
And the USA is no chopped liver.
That's
either.
no way.
They got Suarez, and they've got Harper, and they've got Aaron Judge. They can hit too. The question for the U.S. is, can their pitching hold this team, Dominican Republic, down?
Yeah.
Because I know twice in this series, the Dominican Republic won games after 7 innings.
Mm-hmm.
They won one
comeback
game,
team,
12-1. Juan Soto is a superstar, and he really is that now when you watch him. He ended the game last Sunday with a 2-run homer because they have the rule, the 10-run rule or the 12-run rule. He ended one of those games. The other game that they won 12-1, they finished that in 7 innings.
Yeah.
They are scary, good, and really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see if Paul Skeens can hold them down.
Yeah.
But I'm predicting that might be the key game in the series.
Yes.
I mean, even if Italy plays the U.S. or Venezuela does, and those will both be really good series, or the Dominican plays them, I think this is the best game you're going to see tonight.
Okay. In a shocking move, at least to me it is, the Jets agreed to a trade with the Las Vegas Raiders to acquire Geno Smith and a 2026 7th-round pick in exchange for a 2026 6th-round pick. In other words, the Raiders send Geno Smith and a 2026 7th-round pick to the New York Jets for exchange to a 2026 6th-round pick. Smith, in any case, Smith returns to the team which he started his NFL career in 2013. I've
got to ask you, what do you think of that move? Getting Geno Smith.
Shocking.
I mean, Geno Smith, and it's not an indictment on him. He never really played for a good Jet team in his career. He played for a decent team when he had Rex Ryan as his coach. But he had such a bad year last year. 2 years ago, he was actually picked for the All-Star game twice in his career. Mm-hmm. But the horrible year that he had for the Raiders, I didn't think anybody would want him. I really didn't.
Yeah, that's when I read about this trend, when you told me about it, I almost had whiplash. I mean, it's like, what are the Jets doing?
Like, first they had gotten rid of Sam Darnold. We saw what happened to him. Yeah. He won the whole thing. He's now
eventually won the whole thing for the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah.
And I would say now Sam Darnold might be included in the group of 10, maybe near the bottom of the 10, but he's there. Geno Smith was a guy, most of his career, people thought he'd never make it.
Yeah.
He went to 4 other teams before he got to this team. His best days were with Seattle. He actually got to the Pro Bowl with that team, not once, but twice. Geno Smith is a pretty good quarterback if he gets people around him to help him. But, man, do they need help for him. I mean, let's talk about what they have. They still have Breece Hall, who they signed to basically to protect them from losing him. Okay? And they're going to pay him, and he's going to stay here at least for another year. Garrett Wilson, who has been their best receiver for years, is still here with them. They're going to start building their team up, and I'll tell you why I say that. They actually acquired a good Jet, former Jet, and he's still a good player in the league, even though he's 37 years old. 37 years old. A defensive player, linebacker, Demario Davis. One of the best players the Jets have ever had in their history.
Yeah.
He played for the Saints for years. He's been around for years. He's still considered a good player. So what I'm starting to see is it's going to take a while, obviously, for the Jets to ever be good, but the building blocks are starting to form.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're building. They're trying to get another backup quarterback.
Right.
There's been talk about Carson Wentz.
Yep.
He's one of the most people talked about. You can forget about free agency.
We can forget Kyler Murray. He went to the Vikings.
Yeah.
He would have brought a lot of excitement to the Jets with his ability to run and move, but that was not to be.
But Justin Fields, I think Justin Fields is history.
I think he's done now.
The source where I got the article from, they said, they might consider him, they might also opt to keep Justin Fields, but I think he's pretty much history.
I think I told this to one of my other friends. I said, Justin Fields is running out of teams.
Mm-hmm.
This man has been with 4 teams already. He's only 26 years old. I'm here to tell you he might get one more shot, one more, and that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
And he might be done right now as we're speaking.
Now, as far as drafting is concerned, they probably figured at number 2, they probably weren't going to get their quarterback.
Probably not. As much as we would love, and I mean love, to have Mario Mendoza.
Yeah,
this guy,
but he's probably going to end up going to the Raiders.
He probably will go to the Raiders, which is unfortunate for the Jets again.
Okay.
And if you remember, the Jets also came in second in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes years ago.
Yeah,
that was also somebody who was supposed to be drafted number 1. Why wasn't he? Because the Jets won 2 games that year, and they finished behind the team that he wound up with.
Yeah, Raiders.
No, he wound up team in Jacksonville.
Oh, Jacksonville. Excuse me. Yeah.
But the Jets have been so unlucky getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah, so
they have tried and tried and tried. Geno Smith can at least throw the ball, and he's accurate throwing the ball. He has to be careful with interceptions. That's always been an issue for him. But one thing we do know, he can actually throw the ball downfield. I don't know what their mindset was when they acquired Justin Fields. He was a total disaster in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
He was the worst quarterback the Jets have ever had.
Ever had?
He couldn't even
ever had. That's going really far.
I think you can say
worst ever had. All the bad quarterbacks the Jets have had. He's the worst of all kind.
Let me back this up for you. In
the
league last year, of all the quarterbacks in the league, this guy, Justin Fields, had the slowest rate of getting the ball out of his hand. It would take him 3.8 seconds to throw the ball. Never mind on target. He couldn't even get the ball out of his hands. He could run. He should have been a running back. He might have stayed in the NFL. He's a pretty good runner.
Yeah.
But could he throw the ball? Oh, no, he could not.
Yeah.
Now, Geno Smith's not exactly like the next coming of Tom Brady, but he can throw the ball accurately.
He did play for the Patriots at one time, too.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And Geno Smith is a guy that I like as a person. He's a great human being. He's a nice man. He needs to have more confidence on the field, but I think he is 10 times better than Justin Fields will ever be.
Right.
This dude played for the Bears and the Steelers. And if you can't play with a man named Mike Tomlin as your head coach, I say you are a piece of garbage. You are disgusting. 4 teams he's been on. He's 26 years old. That is discouraging.
Very.
Geno Smith at least has had a career. And he made the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl, not once but twice.
Yeah.
He's actually considered a fairly decent NFL quarterback. Now, what they need to do for him is get some help around him.
Right.
They really need to beef up their offensive line. They need to beef up their offensive players. He needs to be better protected throwing the ball. But maybe if he gets some of those things done, he will be at least respectable as a quarterback in New York.
By the way, the Jets next season will have 3 first-round picks next season.
That is good.
NFL draft.
That's one thing that Darren Muji has done. He has actually beefed up the draft picks we have. We've gotten better players, better picks. That's good. We need to do more. We need to spend money. It's time. I like the DeMario Davis move. That was a great move. Not only for his experience and his toughness, he's a leader. God almighty, does this Jets team need leaders? Finally, we have one that we can count on. I know he's 37, but he can still play. And we got Minkah Fitzpatrick, who used to be, by the way, the best defensive back in the league.
Yeah.
He's 29. He's not quite as good as he was when he was with the Dolphins. He was an absolute fiend stealing the ball, picking off passes. He led the league in interceptions, I believe, once. He's a great talent. Now, hopefully, if he's fairly good like he was back then, we've got another piece to start building.
For Steve Ferguson, this is Pedro Hazel Jr. saying thanks for joining us. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. The internet address is youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner. That's all one word. Again, youtube.com/@PedroFergie Sportscorner. That's all one word. Have a good week, everyone.
A good week,
Enjoy
everybody.
the madness.
Go USA! That was for the
Wait.
W.